right, so, but, I'm gonna take it back, though, cause, like, I'm telling, like, stories and shit, but I'm gonna get to the origin, I guess that's how you say that, this shit, right? So, like I said prior, like, I was doing my thing in New York, but shit was getting hot in New York, and at the same time, me and 88 was talking online, so she invited me out to Dallas, so I went out to Dallas, met up with her. She introduced me to Duke. Duke started supplying me with work. Boom, I started getting money with Duke, and then, that's how I, started planting my seeds in Dallas. So anyway, so I'm in Dallas for about a good, maybe 2, 3 months. So not only I'm dating the 88, but I'm getting money with Duke and SD. But I ain't really know SD like that. No, I was more acquainted with Duke, 88, So anyway, we chillin'. Cause I got to Dallas before Mo 3 passed. Mo 3 passed away maybe a couple of months after I got there. You know what I mean? Couple months after I got there. So, he passed away, right? So, it was, my boy, Uncle Suge from Cleveland, Ohio. He was opening a bar / strip club in Dallas called Ohio Bar. Now I'm gonna give receipts to everything, you know what I mean? So y'all can go look shit up and shit, so Mo 3 passed away. My nigga Uncle Suge, you know what I mean, is coming from Cleveland, Ohio to open up a bar called Ohio Bar in Dallas, right? Alright, cool. So they was having, I guess, like the Mo 3 Day thing. This is like the first annual Mo 3 Day thing. After he passed or whatever, it was happening the same time Uncle Suge was gonna do his grand opening for his bar. So everybody was in town, everybody was around and shit, and this is before beef really started popping off between, us and all the people that I talked about prior. So anyway, so everybody was talking about, going to this, this grand opening to the Ohio Bar, you know what I mean? / strip club, but the strip club part was a secret. That was going to be like the underground part. It was also going to be some gambling in there, but we get into all this later. I'm tying everything together, so as the, it's getting closer to the week of the grand opening to the bar, plus all the Mo 3 things. One day I was at 88 house chilling and shit. I'm like, yo, are you going to the grand opening to the bar, the Ohio Bar that they, and I think she told me, nah, I can't make it because she was going to go to her son's graduation. Her son was graduating high school. Like I said, you can look this up and go to 88 page. There's a picture of her and her son. They look just alike at the graduation. So that's why 88 couldn't make it. So I'm like, damn. So I was like, so you can't go? She said, nah, I gotta be in my baby's graduation. I can't go that day. And, I understand that, man, when you're raising a black boy to be a man, he graduate high school, that's big, that's special. So, alright. So she said she couldn't make it, so she like, yo, won't you just go with Duke and SD and all of them? Now, I know Duke, I'm cool with Duke, but I don't really know SD and the rest of the crew. I'm like, I only felt really comfortable around Duke and 88 at this time. But she couldn't go because she had to be at the graduation. Alright, cool. So I said, fuck it. So I'm like, alright, I was like, you're right. So, I spoke to Duke. Duke was like, yeah, he going to the grand opening. He was like, cause, he gonna go to the Mo 3 stuff and all that, and then everybody gonna head over to the grand opening of the Ohio Bar in Dallas, right? So, the Mo 3 Day thing comes up. Everybody goes to the Mo 3 Day, to the park and stuff. I went, you know what I mean? But I was really, there just to, support Duke and them, you know what I mean? Because that was their people's, like, they was kind of heartbroken behind it. You know what I mean? So I went with them to that. And then later on, we go into the Ohio Bar grand opening, right? Cool. So, it's later on that night. This is like, what, maybe Friday, Saturday night. We go into the grand opening to the Ohio Bar. Me, Duke, SD, whole bunch bunch of us, couple other niggas was with us and shit, right? I think DG was with us too. My nigga Donald Garland's a general salute to him. He just got out too, from that Eve situation. But anyway, DG was with us that night, so high cool. So we all head over to the bar now. Everybody is there. When I tell you, everybody was at the bar this night, this grand opening. Everybody, like I said, had me, SD, Duke, DG, us. You had motherfucking Sko and his crew. You had Sean G, because this is before Sean G got locked out, Trigger Man. Everybody was there, and certain celebrities came through, which I'm gonna get into later, right? So anyway, we chilling. I'm chilling. Enjoying the scenery, everybody, drinks are flowing. Niggas is rolling dice, got a couple girls tripping. Alright, cool, it's going good. So I see Jackie comes in, and she's with like two dudes and a couple other people, that I recognize from Dallas. With these two, these two dudes she was with, I didn't really know them like that. I'd never seen them before. So she came over and she introduced her friends to me, Duke. And, she was like, they've up from Arkansas. So one of the dude names was Duck. The other dude name was Broadway. Something like, okay. And it was funny because, when she introduced Duck, he talked, but he kind of a mouth. You ever seen the movie Forrest Gump? He kind of talked like that a little bit, like Forrest Gump. Like, I'm like, okay. And then the Broadway nigga, kind of looked like Slim Thug. He was, I could definitely tell these niggas was getting money. Even though these niggas was country to the motherfucker, I could tell these niggas was getting money, wherever these niggas was. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, I'm like, yo, how these country niggas out here from Arkansas, and these niggas ain't checking. That's what I was thinking, because I'm like, damn, because I know you come to New York and shit like that, a certain parts of New York, you gotta check in, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, how these niggas out here with Jackie, and these niggas ain't checking, because, Jackie there, she cool, but she don't really hold weight in the streets like that, Like, no girl holds weight in the streets like that. So I'm like, but I ain't think nothing of it, because like I said, I'm only like a couple of months here, so I'm just, so but and also, keep in mind, we just coming in the bar, nobody's getting searched, nobody, which should have been a red flag for me, but I ain't think about it, because I already had my vest on, I had my shit on me, Duke had his shit on him, SD had his shit on him, DG had his gun, and I'm sure everybody else had their shit. Alright, cool, so we chilling, everybody's parlaying, chilling, so SD is rolling dice, and Brandon, the nigga Uncle Shug hired Brandon to run the crap table. This old sneaky ass nigga, Brandon gonna always find his way, either to a chick or like a dollar. He gonna scam his way in somehow, some way. So Brandon's running the crap table because Uncle Shug hired this nigga to run the crap table, right? So he's running the crap table, SD rolling dice, but they keep crapping out. So they say, I honestly think the dice was loaded and they was running a scam on him. So they just kept taking SD money, and SD kept paying. I'm like, what the fuck? But I ain't say nothing. I'm like, because I could kind of see they wanted to play on him. And then it kind of looked like, because he was a little too friendly with the two Arkansas niggas and with Jackie, I'm like, I think they wanted to play on SD, but I ain't think nothing of it. So we chilling. Later on, the night, they introduced this girl rapper, because Boopsy came through, shout out to Boopsy. Boopsy came through and showed love, because I think he was signed Mo 3, or was going to sign Mo 3, so he came through, he was at the Mo 3 shit, then he came over to the bar. So Boopsy came through showing niggas love and shit, introduced himself, I'm like, alright, Boopsy was chilling, Boopsy's in the spot. So Uncle Shug gets on stage, he was like, yo, you got a shorty from Texas that wanted to come on stage and perform some songs. He was like, so give it up for her, whatever. So everybody clapped. So the girl gets on stage, and this like a bad joint, this joint thick, tall chick. I'm like, damn. So now when she's thick and tall, I'm like, damn. So the whole time she performing, I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, I need to get at her. I was like, I could probably get out the game with shorty. I'm like, damn. So she performed like 2 songs, 3 songs, did good. So she get off the stage and shit. You know me, man. I make my way up to her. I'm trying to holler at her, talk to her, but mad people was crowding her. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna wait till niggas back off, and then I go try to holler at her. So anyway, so as he rolling dice, him and Brandon get to an argument because he feel he got cheated. So out of 1,700, so they arguing back and forth, arguing back and forth, arguing back and forth. Alright, cool. Next thing you know, motherfucking Sean G and Skull get to a little disagreement because something happened to where at the same crack table, Sean G must have said something slick to Skull about, check your bitch or something. And then they started arguing. You could look some of this online when you see, look up Skull and Sean G argument or whatever on YouTube. The niggas is going at it. They arguing. So that's when Sean G was like, what you mean you don't care about no boogeyman shit? This is how I found out that they call Sean G the boogeyman. You know what I mean? And then that's what Skull said, nigga, I don't give a fuck about no boogeyman shit. Call me the boogeyman, nigga. I don't give a fuck. What's up, nigga? What's up? So they arguing back and forth. So I'm like, damn. So they arguing. So he was like, so Sean G like, yo, come outside and have a conversation. He was like, you can't have a conversation. He was like, what's up? And so Skull like, man, what's up, man? What's up, man? So they arguing. Same time, SD and motherfucking Brandon's arguing. And then I'm also trying to get at the girls. So why all they arguing? So why all four of them arguing? I stepped to the girl. So I'm trying to holler at her and shit. I went outside to talk to her and shit. So as we talking, her manager is telling her to hurry up, we gotta go. You know what I mean? So while we talking, Sean G and Skull and Trippin' Man, they come outside and they talking loud, arguing. So, the girl manager was a female, so she like, yo, we gotta go, like. So she pulled her, and I'm like, yo, and she was like, yo, just follow me on Instagram. She said what her Instagram was. I can't remember that shit. So I go back in the motherfucking bar. I walk past Sean G and motherfucking Trigger Man and Skull. They still arguing. So I walk past them. I go in the bar. Walk past, everybody, go back over to where Duke and Sean G and all them niggas was. Not Sean G, SD, right? So SD still arguing with Brandon. So next thing you know, Skull comes running in. He comes running inside the bar. You know what I mean? And then, you can look this up. All this is online. I'm gonna give y'all a link to a video and I'm gonna give the name to the video. The nigga Trigger Man pops open the door and aims his gun and starts firing at Skull. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? So, I pulled my shit out. You know what I mean? And I started pointing it at the door too. So I'm start firing it. Boom, 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 boom. So I get down. I lay down on the floor under the pool table. I start firing shots. Boom, 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 boom. Trigger Man's at the door firing shots. Boom, boom, boom. Another nigga that was with Sean G and Trigger Man. He's outside. He's out the house. He's outside popping shots. Boom, boom, boom. Dude is next to me at the pool table. He's on top of the pool table shooting. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? So in the midst of all this, motherfucking Boosie gets hit in the leg. Bow. Boosie gets shot in the leg. Fuck. So Boosie gets hit in the leg. My nigga, SD gets hit twice. Bye bye. Like, fuck. So SD, And like I said, if you think I'm lying, go to YouTube and type in raw video shootout at Ohio bar. Okay? Raw video shootout at Ohio bar. Look it up. Like I said, these are all receipts. So while Trigger Man's at the door shooting, and the other nigga with Trigger Man is shooting, and Sean Z and him outside, I'm on the inside under the table shooting. Duke's next to me shooting. So that's how Boosie got shot in the leg. So when you look that up too, Boosie talks about it on Vlad TV. He was like, yo man, I got hit in my leg. I don't know what happened. That's true. He know Boosie was just chilling. He got hit. Then the crossfire, just like SD got hit. He got hit twice. So once SD was like, fuck. I'm like, you hit? He was like, yeah, I'm hit. I'm like, shit. So if you look at the tape, you'll see Duke dragging SD out through the corner. I'm still fireman on the table. And then, that's when I go behind them. We drag motherfucker SD up out of there, out the back door. And then, we get him out of there. And so, I want to say, maybe a day later, or maybe that same night, Queen 88 comes to the hospital while we there visiting SD. And Queen 88 was more mad that this nigga spent $1,700 at the dice game instead of giving her that damn money. She was like, why would you give that money to Brandon and them Grammy motherfuckers? And he don't do shit for his family. She kept barking on this nigga about the $1,700. I'm like, 88, 4 back, the man got shot twice, man. She was like, nah, fuck that, he's stupid. Right. So, anyway, I cracked a few jokes, SD laughed and shit, and from that moment, that's how me and SD got tight. That's how we became cool, because not only I helped get him up out of there, but I stood up when it was time to, get busy. So Boosie got hit in the leg. Boosie, obviously was okay, because he's doing interviews on Vlad. SD's okay. I want to say maybe a month or two later, remember the girl that was rapping on stage that I tried to get at? When SD hit me up, he said, yo, Blood, he said, yo, Tony, he said, ain't that the girl that you tried to talk to? He was like, turn to BET. He was like, ain't that the shorty that you tried to holler at? Yo, I turned to BET. Guess who the chick was that I was trying to get at, but I couldn't get it because the manager was hating? Megan Thee Stallion. Bye.